Presentation of Mykolaiv Zoo, Ukraine. Dear colleagues, Mykolaiv Zoo and Ukraine welcomes the members of the IAZA annual conference and sends greetings from the struggling and bleeding Ukraine. Despite the hostilities, Mykolaiv Zoo creates all the necessary conditions for the preservation of the collection of animals, feeding, keeping and, where necessary, breeding. Mykolaiv Zoo is 121 years old. Size: the zoo area is 184,813 square meters. Type of governing authority: municipal institution. Number of staff: 238 employees. Number of species: 417. Number of visitors: 79,228 people. On a paid basis, 76,228. Location: City Mykolaiv, Ukraine. Map of Mykolaiv Zoo. Since February 24th, Ukraine has been subjected to a terrorist attack by Russia, and during this time 8 rockets fell on the territory of the zoo. Luckily, no people or animals were hurt. Since the end of February, the zoo has turned to international organizations, residents of the city, with a request to buy tickets online, as the zoo has been closed to visitors for several months. Thanks to the collected funds, we can now more or less exist. Special thanks to IAZA and zoos in Western Europe for their financial assistance and support with animal feed. Berlin, Warsaw, Prague, Tallinn, Lodz, as well as other zoos in European countries. By the end of 2021, the construction of 3 enclosures for big cats, Island of Animals, was completed, for tigers, jaguars, leopards. However, due to hostilities, the enclosures were not put into operation, and now the zoo doesn't use them. The total area of the enclosures is 1,948.85 square meters. At the beginning of 2022, already during the hostilities, Mykolaiv Zoo completed the reconstruction of the reservoir for elephants. Area of the reservoir 280.4 square meters. During April, there was no water in the city. The zoo was forced to switch to autonomous water supply and build 2 wells with a depth of more than 60 meters. A reverse osmosis system was installed to purify water using equipment donated by the city. Animals can now use purified water. Every week, Mykolaiv Zoo, together with other zoos in Ukraine, holds online conferences with the directors of Ukrainian zoos, where problems are discussed and financial and humanitarian assistance is distributed between zoos. Almost all zoos received financial help from IAZA, even those that ended up in the occupied territory. Despite the state of war and the daily bombings of Mykolaiv city, the zoo continues its educational work online. Video productions of an advertising and educational nature, as well as online tours which are conducted live, are created. Since June, the zoo is allowed to open for visitors on weekends. But visits are at a very low level due to the fact that about 50% of Mykolaiv residents have left the city, and those who remain cannot visit the zoo because they have lost their jobs. But despite the difficulties, we try to provide full-fledged services for our visitors: excursion support, demonstrative enrichment of the environment, horse riding, musical accompaniment, broadcasting of interesting news by a radio station. The main problems the zoo facing: it is necessary to wait for victory and start implementing 4 projects: reconstruction of the winter premises of the Island of Animals, the glass roof of these premises with an area of 438 square meters, and further reconstruction of the exhibits. Thank you very much for your attention. Vladimir Topchi, Director of Mykolaiv Zoo.